Last time we played this, we got fired from our job. That's it. I just feel like my world has crumbled into nothing. I mean, you had every right to. Like, Jesus, if I were you, I would have already broken down to a sopping mess. I'd love to, but I'm on a subway. Far too proud to cry in public, and even now. And it's stupid. But I feel like someone out there just keeps destroying everything I hold dear, just to see my reaction. Like it was a prank show and someone was waiting to record me crying. So out of sheer spite, I'm doing my best not to cry. Fuck you. Fuck you, whoever and wherever you are. That's the most Julius Sowinski thing I've ever heard. Despite as the greatest motivator, huh? Not feeling particularly motivated to do anything right now, to be honest. I just want to stay in my bed until my shithead landlord calls the cops to forcefully evict me. Not surprised. Shit. I know that whenever life decides to fuck you over, it's always one thing after another, but this is too much. How much is too much? Let's recap this last week of June 2019. I've been kicked out of my job. Well, not that I've ever been hired. So let's just say that my mentor broke every vague promise he ever made to me. A big thing I'd been working on for a year and a half? Down the toilet. It's all useless. My boss didn't protect my sources properly, and now they keep trying to reach me through every possible channel or threaten me or just yell at me. And they have every right to react like that. All of my side gigs were shut down. Nobody's replying to my emails. Someone's been dragging my name through the mud behind the scenes and it worked. I still have no idea who's sending these shitty messages around. I've been asking, but listen. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to stand idly by and watch it get canceled by some mean-spirited delusional. I said don't worry about it. I have 3 unread messages from my landlord. The message previews were stressful enough. A call came from Chicago. Apparently my dad has bladder cancer. Mom is in hysterics. She'd go crazy if she heard about my situation, so I have to pretend everything is okay whenever she calls. And she calls every day. And she just won't hang up before she offloads all of her burdens onto me. And I can't blame her, because we all had to learn how to cope with Dad's psychopathic tendencies somehow. I was robbed. All my documents and what little money I had, gone. I don't even know when or where it happened. And it's driving me crazy because I'm always extremely wary of pickpockets. The list goes on. I don't want to sound paranoid, but it really feels like a concerted attack. Paranoid is good. Anyway, I know you always hand-wave this topic away, but just remember that if anything happens, my place is your place. You don't have to get through it alone. I do. I've been a trouble magnet, and as self-centered as I may be, I don't want it to affect you. I know. Listen, I have another call. Alright, just call me if anything happens. No matter how dumb it seems, okay? And swing by whenever you like. I will. Thank you. See you. I put my phone away. Exhale and blankly stare in front of me. Christ. I glance at my reflection in the window. Just look at this idiot. Whenever the situation requires me to dress formally, I still feel like a bit like an odd child, cosplaying as an adult. Should have just followed the dress for the job you want advice and continued dressing up like a trust fund kid who keeps partying on Brooklyn rooftops for years without a care in the world. It's only after a while that I realize the car is empty. Unnaturally so. I start feeling uneasy, but someone enters my peripheral vision. And that's the last thing I consciously register. The world dissolves. When I come to, I'm out of the subway, standing in a back alley that I don't recognize. It's pretty dark. My eyes start adjusting and I try to figure out what happened. There's a gun in my hand. A faint silhouette at my feet. It's not moving. Somebody stands in front of me, covered in shadows. I can't fully make out her face, but she's staring at me with visible intent. She speaks. Her voice is raspy and androgynous, her tone hateful and mocking. Aren't you a nasty one? What is going on? Who are you? Don't play coy. My mind goes blank. I look at the ground. There's a body, riddled with bullet holes, and I recognize who it is. Was. The corpse belongs to Mike Antonov, one of the double spiral whistleblowers, my source. He was just threatening to get back at me a few hours ago. Before I can feel even the tiniest bit of compassion, I face a terrible realization. They'll think I'm guilty. Oh my god, am I guilty? How is this real? What happened to him? Listen, what happened to this guy? This guy? Again, don't play coy. You knew him. He was mad at you. You started telling him sob stories about your situation. He wasn't having none of it. You got mad. Things escalated. He died. This isn't true. It's plausible, but that doesn't make it true. Or does it? This isn't just a nightmare. It doesn't even make sense. It must be a dream. And if it isn't, the person in front of me must be responsible. There's a faint voice in my head, screaming that it's her world and that I'm just living in it. What the fuck have you done to me? Nothing yet, but I'll do what I can to get you locked up for life. This is a murder in the first degree with special circumstances. Her detached voice's nonsensical tone only reassures me that this can't be real. I refuse to believe it is. Before I even manage to think this through, I point the gun at her. If I did murder him, you wouldn't be acting like that. You wouldn't be standing in front of me. You'd be running away, calling the police, begging for help, yelling that I'm a psycho. Oh, you are a psycho. But I'm not a coward. I won't let you walk out of here alive. This doesn't make a single lick of sense. Tears well up in my eyes. Why are you doing this? Because sometimes one has to confront what they're really made of. There's no two ways about it. She's gotta be nuts. Slowly but surely, she starts walking towards me. Stop right there, I'll shoot! Go on. It's the only way that you can get off the hook, isn't it? The only way you can survive. But you will definitely prove you are the monster that I claim you are. What the fuck is this tone? So controlling, inauthentic, patronizing. I'm serious! For your own sake, you'd better be. She keeps getting closer. Maybe I did kill Antonov. Maybe I don't deserve to live. Maybe it's less tiring not to live. Maybe I should just let her take care of me. Maybe I will just wake up. Or maybe this insane reality needs to be rejected as violently as possible. Maybe a world that wants to destroy me deserves to be destroyed. She's right in front of me. It's now or never. I won't shoot, just help me. Please help me. I will. She yanks the gun from my hand with ease. Her strength is horrifying, actually. And turns it against me. And she pulls the trigger. With a gaping hole where my heart used to be, I fall down onto Antonov's body. If it's any consolation to you, it's that if that's the way you are, there's no chance you're ever going to amount to anything. I'm just hastening the inevitable. You're a lowlife, not even worth drinking. I'm just angry at myself for wasting so much time and resources to give you a second chance. So you ever wanted me back in Chicago as soon as possible. You'll have to wait a bit longer. Ah well. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm in no condition to care anymore. Fuck, man. The comfort of death will come, our kind and kindred alone. Well, fuck, man. Shit. Alright. Let's do this again. Let's try this again. It's now or never. I close my eyes and squeeze the trigger. A loud bang echoes through the alley. I'm afraid to look at what I've done. I've been to a shooting range once and I felt absolutely horrified by pistols. Such a small thing, but it can easily puncture a hole in the fabric of reality is made of. Never knew I'd be able to use it against another human being. The very thought makes me want to puke. You are a right choice, after all. I'm so glad. You haven't allowed yourself to break, but you crossed the line I needed you to cross. There's a silent flame in you that could become an inferno if left unchecked. I sure hope it will. She's still alive. Her voice is coming from behind me. She puts her hands around my waist and her cold mouth touches my neck. I can feel my shirt getting violently torn off. I don't understand, but I'm too dazed to protest. How was your final test? Congratulations. You have proven yourself worthy. I can feel something sharp sliding into my neck. It's not too painful, just startling. Think a doctor pushing a needle into your vein without a proper warning. Then it hits me. Pure bliss. The dopamine receptors I've considered completely fried until now suddenly recover and start bombarding me with a pleasure I've never known before. I finally let the tears go. They come flooding. They've been waiting for years. It's such a relief. Is it raining? I feel like I'm in the middle of a deluge. At least. Washing away all of my fears, all of my sorrows, all of my anger, all of my pain, all of my ego. I become one with the world, and the woman behind me. She's holding me tight, making me feel like the only important thing in this world. Everything else blurs. I feel something intense towards her, something I've never felt before. Is this love? I hope it is. This is not you. This is a familiar, cynical voice in the back of my head. But it's okay. I never felt particularly fond of me anyway. New York, you're perfect. Oh, please don't change a thing. He who laughs in the shadows always has the best laugh. Hallelujah, praise be. When everything is cliche, nothing is. Isn't that the ever-distant utopia I've been chasing all along? People on the other trains, I hope you're doing fine. God, shut up and just enjoy it. You finally understand. She's making love to me. She's giving birth to me. She's burying me. I'm pretty sure I'd been dead for a while. I'm pretty sure I could stare at my own corpse in her hands from a distance. For a moment, somehow. And then, I'm alive again. She lifts her mouth from my neck. No, wait. I taste blood in my mouth. Was I drinking her blood too? I realized that wherever this was, whatever this was, it's over. And I have to bask in the afterglow while I still can. I also immediately understand that I'm going to chase this fleeting feeling for the rest of my existence. Finally, she lets out a whisper which concludes the ceremony. No matter what happens next, don't forget. You're a monster. But you are lucky enough to be born into a world of monsters. So don't you ever mourn that fact. Embrace it. Ooh. I like this. Once again, I find myself in Big Beat Burger. Familiar surroundings, faces I recognize, mood, same as it ever was. Still, I had processed it in an entirely different way. It all frustrates me now. Or, more precisely, makes me frustrated with myself. It's like I'm clinging to the remnants of a cocoon I've outgrown. It's the same with these cigarettes. I don't need them anymore. So why do I keep holding on to them? Fucking hell. It's like I refuse to accept that I'm something better than I used to be. A vampire. Just 2 nights ago I met Karen. She embraced me, by which I mean she turned me into a kindred. She calls herself my sire and me her child. Last night, she taught me the basics of survival. Drinking blood, manipulating humans, bending steel, controlling shadows. Tonight I expected more lessons. Instead, she just told me to go out and enjoy myself. What's the catch? I asked, to which she responded. I might kill you if you prove to be a disappointment. There are a few rules. I have to uphold the Masquerade. I can't contact anyone I knew as human. I can't let anyone realize I'm not human anymore. And I can't embrace anyone, and so on. Otherwise, I'm free to do what I want. But for some reason, the first thing I did was come back here. Old habits die hard. Karen is probably watching me from somewhere even now. The way I understand it, tomorrow night she is supposed to introduce me to the Camarilla, a local society of vampires. Turns out, they're the ones who have been systematically ruining my life lately. All a part of some secret evaluation that I barely pass. Just imagining the reach they have makes me dizzy. After they destroyed the old me, that I barely cared about, Karen rebuilt me anew. On one hand, her test left some scars that will take some time to heal. On the other hand, maybe I should just be grateful. I am snapped out of my thoughts by a sudden scream. Some douchebag yelling about his french fries not being salty enough. I think this is my cue to leave. Permanently. Goodbye, BBP. I hope I never see you again. I'm destined for greater things, you see. Wait, do we have... Oh! Retributive justice. A meathead bully and his unfortunate victim. I probably shouldn't interfere, but what better chance could I find to, test what I've become? Danse macabre. Time to swing a little more on the devil's dance floor. The club beckons. Right in downtown Manhattan. This Tinder addict smells a lot like a bit of a loser, a wannabe intellectual, and a perfect source of nourishment. Ooh. We got this going on too? Dude, this thing's fucking dope. I like how I like the map, it looks like blood veins going through, and look, you got fucking... Fuck you, Staten Island. Okay, so you got New Jersey, you got Yonkers is up here, you got Manhattan, you got Harlem, you got Brooklyn, you got Queens, got the Bronx as well. I don't know exactly where the line is between all these things. Like, honestly, like, Queens, you'd like start like here, or it could start like over here. I've always been bad at remembering where that is. The only thing I know with absolute certainty is that this river that goes through is the border between Manhattan. Although, actually, that's a good point, actually. It's like, over here, I don't think that counts. I think it's legitimately just this island, because you can see Central Park right here. Anyway, thanks for listening to my anatomy course on New York. Also, fuck you, Staten. I'm kidding. Anyone from Staten Island, that is like the running joke of shitting on Staten Island. Sorry, I'm sorry. Alright, let's get this guy out of the way. Two men are facing each other in a dark, black alleyway. One of them stands with his back against the wall, his chest heaving as he's struggling to catch his breath. People, anybody out there? I'm being robbed. A brawny, rugged guy is yelling at a metal staircase with a theatrical incredulity in his voice. With a lively step, he dances around an older man who's having trouble finding his footing. What is this bullshit? Oh, so now you can talk. Good, because I'm dying to hear what you did with my wallet, Holmes. Wallet? I have no idea what you're talking about. The goon starts prancing around like a Muay Thai boxer. He's smiling, but his eyes send a clear message. You're cornered, buddy. Don't even try to pull a fast one on me. Come on, homeboy. You may be able to trick an average Joe on the street with your act, but a fighter recognizes a fighter. It's like an animal thing. It's an instinct thing. You got some moves on you. You're like... shit. You're like a black mamba. Lightning fast reflexes. He starts shadowboxing for a moment. The man's definitely got energy to spare. However, I'm like a king cobra. You met your match. Two apex predators now locked in a battle. So you're seeing snakes? That would explain something. Before he's able to finish, a sucker punch knocks the air right out of his lungs. The old man slides down the wall. Before he can let out a groan, he's interrupted by a brutal kick to the chest. That's what I'm talking about. A fighting spirit, even when you're cornered. Take a seat, deep breath, collect your thoughts before you speak up again. Remember where you put my wallet now? I think... I'm pretty sure you broke my rib. An eye for an eye. A rib for a ribbon. Biblical punishment. It's only fair, homie. Fair? At least admit this is a mug. Wallet my ass. Still in denial. Okay, let's say I've had about $5,000 in there. Give me $6,000 and I'll let you walk away. Relatively unharmed. So you admit it. Admit what? That this is not about proper compensation. This is a robbery. Look, buddy, this is beginning to bore me. So unless you want to go all Anderson Silva on your ass, give me what I want. Anderson Silva? Yeah, Anderson Silva. The flying knee meeting your solar plexus. The man, the myth, the legend. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Thai boxing, Western boxing, Taekwondo, Wing Chun, and Capoeira combined into a single fighting style that can only be described as straight-up Muay Thai. I've been studying the glorious singularity that is Anderson Silva for years. Every move I have, I owe to him. So if you don't want this snake to turn into a deadly spider, you better show me the money, honey. Summer 2013, Las Vegas. Huh? Watched it live on pay-per-view. Weidman saw through all of Silva's tricks, whooped his ass, broke his spirit. Showed him for a fraud he is. The man hasn't been the same ever since. All the empty showboating, hollow taunting, drunk on his own Kool-Aid. Of course you idolize him, you asshole. For a good minute, the goon silently looks down at the whimpering man at his feet, chewing on his lower lip. When he finally speaks up, his voice betrays an intent to kill. You know what, homeboy? Screw the money. This is a matter of honor now. I thought exactly. Ha! He raises a fist. We got ourselves a mixed martial arts expert here, huh? For your own sake, I hope you can back that talk with some self-defense skills, homie. This is pathetic. Boosting your self-esteem by beating up an injured old geezer? God damn, you're pathetic. He jumps at the sound of my voice, turns my way in the blink of an eye, and immediately assumes a combat stance. His reflexes are sharp. Looks like he has at least this much to back up all of his bravado. Wannabe Anderson Silva's face betrays utter confusion upon seeing me. He's got no idea how I managed to sneak up on him, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't be able to explain it to myself. It felt like I became one with the darkness, my pure consciousness traversing a dusky dreamscape. jumping from one shadow to another as if they were different trains of thought. I think some of the experiences I've had with psychedelics, every blink and adventure. I was outside of this alley. Blink. I was above the alley. Blink. Now I'm in front of this guy. And he pisses me off. The older man slumps down. Looked like he was trying his best to keep it together and gave up once the cavalry arrived. The goon regains his composure and barks at me in an overly gruff way. "Hell are you sneaking around here for, chica? Move along. This is between men." Not anymore. His fist turns towards me. "I'm serious. An equal opportunity ass kicker." I respond to the threat with the brightest, most innocent, virginal smile I can put on. "So, you're into shadow boxing, huh?" Something comes over me. I can feel the darkness embracing me, whispering sweet nothings in my ear, pumping me up for what's to come. Oh god, we got choices. Okay, let's, what do we do? Low spinning sweep, that seems like fun. I've always wanted to try this. I zoom in, I duck below his fist and sweep him off his feet with a powerful roundhouse kick. It's probably the dumbest, flashiest thing I could have done, but I'm feeling more confident than ever. He flies into the air, only managing not to fall because of the wall behind him. I know what he's thinking. I should have blocked it. And he absolutely should have. But instead, he just flailed his arms helplessly, as if he suddenly found himself in front of an oncoming train. A primal expression of fear that suddenly and completely took him over. I don't know how I look right now, but judging by his expression, my best guess is like the gaping maw of some primordial beast. I follow up the surprise attack with another punch to the solar plexus, or at least my nearest estimate. Once again, the effect terrifies even myself. Looks like my hunch was correct and I hit the right spot. He falls to the floor, whining like a wounded animal, tears streaming down his face. I let him collect himself a bit and then grab him by his chin. Learn how to choose your battles, homeboy. Let me go! For Christ's sake, let me go! I kick him in the direction of the alley entrance. He staggers off, quickly disappearing from my sight. I check on his victim. Looks like he's conscious. Wow, you whooped his ass, girl. But hasn't noticed anything out of order. Good. I was getting worried I might have overdone it a bit. That woman did say that keeping a low profile will be crucial if I want to survive. Are you alright? Do you need help? He managed to stand up. His smile is strained, but it suggests he's fine, or at the very least, trying his best to seem fine. No, you gave me all the help I needed, and then some. Thank you, miss. What's your name? Jessica. Thanks, Jessica. I was worried for a second, but this asshole's bark was worse than his bite. He's probably in worse shape than me now. I guess that counts as a victory. I'd better get going. My wife is probably worried sick. But before that, if there's anything I could do to repay you... Just forget about it. Just be a little more careful in the future, alright? A true heroine always refuses compensation for her help. At least, that's how I think things should go on. Never thought I'd help someone in a street fight. You're something else, Jessica. You ever want to try your skills in the octagon? Too much in love with my gorgeous face to see it bruised, battered and swollen. Sorry. I hear you. Whatever you do next, God bless you. And there he goes. God, huh? I feel like one right now. No more worrying about being out after midnight. No more uneasy feeling whenever I spot a shady asshole across the street, ever. Hell, I can start jogging in Central Park after midnight now. Not that I need to. The future's looking bright. That took a good chunk of my time. Alright, where should we go now? This kid seems like he's okay. Let's look at the club. There might be some shady people over there. This guy is a Tinder addict, so... You know what? Let's get down and let's go party. Because we like to party. We like to party. We like to party. This club reeks of death. And I love it. I've been here quite a few times, but I've never seen anything this breathtaking. Everyone around me is whacked out of their minds, and as they keep dancing madly, the spirits dance beside them. Spectral silhouettes phase in and out of existence, becoming more visible to the more intense music that grows. It looks like a bizarre ritual, a profane mass. I notice it's the voice samples the ghosts react to the strongest. The most suggestive ones cause them to appear distorted, even tormented. It's as if something was struggling to be born out of the harsh sounds and that the dead were hoping to be reborn alongside it. They're all uneasy, quivering with desire for something far beyond their reach. Probably the same as when they were alive. Sometimes the living dancers spot their dead counterparts. It's usually the most manic ones who notice something out of the corner of their eye, but only for a split second, but never realize what they've glimpsed. Some apparitions dance to a completely different tune than the rest of us. Only one they can hear. Those seem the saddest. The spectacle is eerie at times, and at times it's unbearably melancholic. But above all, it's beautiful. I keep on moving to the rhythm until I reach a trance-like state, and then something even stranger happens. Every now and then when I brush against someone, a fragmentary vision appears before my eyes. A car burning on a freeway, and outstretched hands in the depths of sea. A man jumping out of a skyscraper window. Memories of the past? Preventable visions of the future? I have no idea what it means, but I'm strangely eager to find out. And then there are dancers like her. Ones that aren't ghosts, human, or even vampires, but something else altogether. This new world is full of mysteries, and I plan to get to the bottom of them all. But for now, I just want to dance. Wow. What a night. I watch Times Square from above. It's beautiful. Never thought this place could make me emotional, to be honest. But here I am, feeling deeply moved. Who would have thought? Getting up here was surprisingly easy, all things considered. Took more thought than physical effort. Earlier tonight I started experimenting with this body's limits. I realized I could jump over small buildings and climb steep walls with ease now, and my whole perception of space has shifted. I planned a scenic route across the rooftops and did my best to avoid attracting attention, just as I was told. Stayed in the shadows as much as humanly possible. I spot a drone from afar. For a second I feel uneasy, but I remember what she told me. Machines won't get a clear view of me anymore. Camera footage, photos, it's all glitched out or blurry. Wouldn't take it for granted if I didn't try to catch my reflection earlier on. I couldn't see my face clearly. Not in the mirror. Not even in a puddle. My face was like one of Dolly's clocks. She told me to keep a low profile regardless. Someone might take note and track you down. She didn't care to elaborate, but it didn't sound encouraging. Suddenly it hits me that I might never be able to see my own face again. I won't even be able to take care of my looks by myself. But what about the long-term psychological effects? A knot of anxiety tightens in my stomach. Jesus! This is probably just the tip of the iceberg. What else is going to change? Calm down. Wait a second. The past few nights have been the best of my life. For years I was on a downward spiral. Failing health, no future, a feeling of overwhelming powerlessness. Now everything has been flipped upside down. A total paradigm shift. A bad ending is no longer the only option. I am actually looking forward to tomorrow. I forgot how that feels. Where it used to stand at mere seconds to midnight, the doomsday clock has been effectively turned off. A cold breeze brushes my cheek. As stupid as it sounds, I chose to read it as the world telling me to chin up. I can bend anyone to my will. I am capable of superhuman strength. I am a master of shadows. I can do anything. Tomorrow night, I will be introduced to my duties. If everything goes according to plan, I will become a New York City representative of Clan La Sombra. Whoever they are, whatever that means, I have no idea what to expect. But tonight is tonight. I'm free. All my worries from a month ago feel like they belong to someone else. Finally, things are looking up.